When you imagine a samurai from Japan, you probably picture him clad in armor and wielding a sword. However, you might notice that he doesn't carry a shield. Why didn't the samurai use shields? In ancient Japan, shields have been used since the Yayoi period. Back then, shields mainly came in two types: a small one that was held with one hand, and a larger okidate, which was placed around one's lines during battles. Both sides were made of wood, with some shields decorated with black or red lacquer. By the mid-Kofun period, shields made by stretching animal hide over wooden frames, known as kawatate, began to be used. It's believed that around this time, shields were also used in religious ceremonies. So when did the Japanese stop using shields? During the Heian period, the primary weapon in warfare became the bow and arrow. Originally used for hunting, bows were improved during the Heian period to shoot arrows further. Since bows require both hands to operate, the okidate, or stationary shields, became more valuable than handheld ones. This marked the decline of handheld shields. Moreover, with the advent of the Hinawa-ju, or matchlock guns, iron shields emerged. These evolved to be more like defensive walls protecting the entire military formation, rather than individual soldiers. By the Kamakura period, infantry used longbows or naginata, and higher-ranked warriors on horseback wielded tachi. In any case, since both required two hands, there was little use for holding a shield. Another reason shields became obsolete is the advancement in weapon handling techniques. In Japan, there was a deep dedication to refining the art of weapon usage. In swordsmanship, the Japanese sword has a region called the shinogi, and a profound technique associated with it is called ukenagashi. This technique is still evident in modern martial arts like Kendo. It's a method of deflecting an incoming strike and countering from there. Techniques that knock down an opponent's sword to counterattack, or ones that harness the opponent's strength to strike their torso, among various others, were developed. This way, even without a shield, swordsmanship evolved to be able to defend against attacks and counter simultaneously. The evolution of armor is also a contributing factor. From ancient times in Japan, full-body armor became prevalent. By the 5th century, cavalry began to play a significant role in warfare. It's impossible to wield a long spear or a bow on horseback while holding a shield. As a result, shields morphed into a form that could be directly attached and detached from armor. The flat rectangular parts on the shoulders of the armor, known as osode, served this very purpose. In battle, it's paramount to protect the arms handling the weapon above all. By merely twisting the shoulder, the osode can easily be positioned as a shield, becoming an extremely rational defensive component. Thus, as armor developed in Japan, the practicality of shields diminished even further. So, why is the soldier depicted in this video thumbnail so lightly armored on the battlefield? Regarding why he's the only one lightly armored on the battlefield, many from that era had to join battles in minimal equipment due to their low social status or poverty. It's believed that he was an ashigaru, soldiers drafted from the peasant class. These soldiers had little to no formal education or training in the ways of the samurai, and were essentially farmers conscripted into military service. Interestingly, ashigaru aren't samurai. There's a significant distinction between ashigaru and samurai. The term samurai refers specifically to the higher-ranked warriors who serve a lord, with this lord being a shogun or a noble. Only these samurai were permitted to engage in battles on horseback. You might wonder if even the lower classes could at least afford armor, but a full set of armor was said to cost as much as a house. The price fluctuated depending on the wearer's status, the materials used, and the design. Armor was so expensive that there are stories of people taking out loans to buy a set and paying it back over 3 generations from grandfather to grandson. Unless one was a high-ranking warlord, it seems unlikely that they could pay off the loan in their lifetime. Lower-ranking soldiers like Ashigaru, who couldn't afford their own armor, were said to wear pieces scavenged from the fallen. Alternatively, Ashigaru who couldn't assemble a full set of armor wore okashikusoku, armor lent by feudal lords. This was mass-produced armor that improved defense through standardization, but its quality was said to be inferior. Ashigaru also wielded lone swords provided by the lords, which were mass-produced, cheap, and almost disposable in quality. Thus people who usually lived as farmers gradually became armed as Ashigaru, leading to an escalation in looting and theft on battlefields. As a result, farmer soldiers, engaging in pillaging and theft, became a source of income for some. The armament of these peasants contributed to a decline in public safety. In 1588, the feudal lord Toyotomi Hideyoshi implemented the Katanagari Rei, or sword hunt decree. He confiscated swords, bows, spears, firearms, and all other weapons from the peasants. Beyond the aim of maintaining public order and preventing uprisings, this action aimed to establish the Hei no Bunni, or the separation of farmers and samurai, solidifying the class system. We hope you enjoyed this exploration into the world of Japanese swords and shields. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting content about the history of Japanese swords. Until next time, sayonara.